Okay, just a word of warning. We did have massive issues recording this podcast. I will deal with it as best as I can in the editing, but it's not going to be perfect. Here we go.
This is Shutters Inc. with Bruce Williams and Glyn Lavender.
Hi and welcome to episode 524 of Shutters Inc. This is Bruce Williams from shuttersincpodcast.com, and joining me on Skype once again from Melbourne, Victoria, Mr. Glyn Lavender from creativephotoworkshops.com.au. How are you?
Good morning all, afternoon or evening, depending on when you're listening, or never if you're one of those listeners who don't listen. In fact, if you're one of those listeners who don't listen, to you. Yeah, got that off my chest after 524 episodes. Stuffed a lot of ears. If you don't want to listen, bug ears. I'm in a happy mood, dude. As you can tell.
I can tell. Why are you happy? Why are you happy?
Oh, I'm neither happy nor unhappy.
Oh, okay.
I'm as my old and long dead dad used to say, I'm fair to middling.
Yes. I've heard that many times as well. Yeah. You must be happy that the girls are back at school.
Yeah, well, it's one of those bittersweet things again. You miss having them around. The cats go kind of psycho for a few days because they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
They're all over the shop. And I get to get a few things done, which is kind of good. But it's a period of adjustment. It's only, 4 days in? And, just trying to get up in the mornings, do the breakfast, make lunches, get them out the door on time. Yeah. Because we have two different drop-offs. So I've got to take one to one school, then come back and pick up the other one, take them to her school. Because they start half an hour apart.
Is this a primary school, high school thing?
Yeah.
Right.
So it's a bit of a fiddle every morning. It just takes a bit of getting used to.
Yeah,
but the good thing is they're gone, so I can start kind of getting a few things done. And this week I've pretended to be a man again.
You can get back to having your naps.
Well, I can't. This is the thing. I've been busy. So
busy doing what?
I've done something 3 times this week that I've never done in my life.
Oh, okay. What was
and
it?
I said this is all about the pretending to be a man. I've been to the tip.
Oh my goodness.
I know, I loaded up the vehicle 3 times.
Not the new Subi.
And then, I know, and then unloaded said vehicle 3 times.
Right.
One thing I have deduced is that we buy far too much from Amazon.
Oh, yeah.
Because the amount of bloody Amazon boxes I had to dispose of.
You could have rebuilt the forest.
Oh, just nuts. I think I had an entire carload of flattened Amazon boxes.
Yeah. I would just quickly like to interject and say to the audience, if you do hear extraneous noises in the background of my recording, it's because I've got contractors on the roof installing solar panels. So where I can mute it, I will.
If I can interject about the extraneous noises, I most vociferously apologise. Oh, rather. Sorry about the noise, folks. Yeah, I'm having my tattoos redone. Yeah, industrial strength.
Oh, dear.
So how's your week been? Has it been joyful and stuff?
Yeah. Last week, Kath and I went away on Thursday night up to the Barrington Tops, which was about a 3-hour drive from here. Just for a couple of nights away, we went and stayed on a farm called Hidden Haven, which is not the most original of names, but a lovely 2,000-acre property in the hills, and just, did some bushwalks, spent some time with the horses and chatting with the guy who runs the place, and it was just nice to have a couple of days away just to...
I'm sure.
Yeah, just to get away from the big smoke and...
Take some nice photos?
I took a couple of images that were okay. Yeah. Didn't do...
Yes, you took your camera gear.
I did. I did. So, did that and enjoyed that, and then came back Saturday, and Sunday went down to Sydney, caught up with a friend, and and then came home Sunday night. So, and then
Nice.
had Monday, Tuesday off, worked yesterday, got today and tomorrow off, then working
That's
Saturday,
not good.
Sunday. Well, here's what it is. Yeah, that was my week.
So it's forced leave. Are you just not that busy anymore, or?
Oh, well, because I'm a casual,
Yeah.
I get shifts when they offer them to me, you know. And it just so happened that, yeah, they didn't need a driver Monday, Tuesday, or today or tomorrow, Friday. So, yeah, so I just get the shifts that I'm offered. And as it was yesterday, even though I was at work, I was not driving. They said, look, we've only got 2 trucks going out. Are you okay to do a store shift? And I went, yeah, that's fine. So
Yeah.
the store shifts are hard on your feet because you're basically walking all day. So, yeah, did that yesterday, and hopefully I'll be back in the truck Saturday and Sunday. And while I'm thinking about it, we have, you know, knocked the podcast back to a every other week affair. But 2 weeks from this week, yeah, we have. We're doing it fortnightly. 2 weeks from this
Did
week.
we do one last week?
No, we did not.
Didn't he really?
Good to see that you're keeping up, mate. 2 weeks from this week is the week that Max will be doing his marching out parade from Kapuka. So Kath and I will be away, so it might be a 3-week break between this episode and the next. Yeah, just thought I'd mention that while I was thinking of it.
What you're saying is we're not doing it weekly.
Correct.
I think that was always going to be the case, but I seem to have forgotten.
So you got any photography stuff to discuss?
No, I've got a few other things. First of all, yeah, slightly. My fundraiser for Umesh finished a couple of days ago.
Cool.
So that's good. And so we're doing the test run of the prints this week to make sure we're happy with the quality.
Nice.
And then I'll finalise all the total quantities needed printing. We'll get them printed up next week.
Yep.
Then I'll go collect them. Then I'll sign them all, number them all, then prepare them all for shipping. So that might take a few days.
Yep.
And then we get them underway. So that's all really good.
Awesome.
Yeah. So it's, that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
I got my Dolby Atmos system set up and running.
Nice.
You know how important it was for me to have the Atmos, and it's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
How many speakers have you got?
I've only got 7.
Right. And what's the configuration there?
Well, it's 2 front.
Yep.
1 centre.
Yep.
2 rear surround.
Yep.
2 up firing front speakers on top of the front left and right channels.
Yep.
And then a subwoofer.
Right. So 8.
So
yep. Cool.
Yeah, so 7.
Okay.
Because 2 at the back, 2 at the front, middle. That's 5. 2 up firing, 7, 8.
Your mathematical prowess is stunning.
The thing is, see where you're going wrong, because I know you don't know much about audio, dude. You don't count the subwoofer as a speaker, and frankly, they're channels anyway, not speakers. So I'm sorry I have to teach you some stuff about audio.
Yeah.
You know?
How poor of me.
How many panels are you getting put up?
About 28, I think it is.
So what kilowattage?
I should know that, but I'll learn that in about an hour's time.
They didn't know. I mean, what kilowatt system? You don't know what system you're putting in?
I did get told that, but I can't remember the numbers off the top of my head. I'll go to the email.
You're getting someone to install some expensive system into. You don't even know what it is.
Yeah, this was my wife's pet project. It wasn't my thing.
So I'm going to say, because it was your wife, it's probably a 9 kilowatt hour system.
I have actually, now that you said that, I think it's like 13.
13?
I think.
For 2 of you?
I think. She's planning ahead for when we have an electric car, so she wanted a system that would include enough capacity to charge a car.
Fair enough.
Yeah, no, I can't find it. I'll find that information and I'll let you know in the next ep.
Yeah,
because by then we'll be running.
Minds.
Yeah.
Well, you might be in 3 weeks' time. You'd wonder,
yeah.
You know? I just saw a new article on Peter Pixel.
Yeah.
About Meta's virtual reality division, so Oculus Quest.
Okay.
Which my daughter got for Christmas this year, and it's epically good.
Yeah.
But it turns out they lost $10.2 billion in 2021.
Ouch.
So interesting. It's but I guess that's any new technology taking off. It's going to have a period of time where it's just not going to make money, where you're investing more than you're earning. It's going to be So that's kind of to be expected, I guess. But $10 billion, that's a lot of money. And last thing for me this week, personally, I'm taking up guitar.
Oh, okay, cool.
So my whole life, I've wanted to
Taking it up where? Up to the attic?
Up the Khyber Pass, of course. Where else? No, I booked a tutor, and I'll start Monday at 2:15. I'll start tutoring.
Awesome.
To play guitar, and something I've always wanted to do. I've got no musical ability whatsoever, so it's not auguring. But I've told him I'm going to give him 6 weeks, and if I have zero ability to even remember how to move two hands independently of each other, then we're probably not going to keep going. But it's kind of, we'll see. It's one of those things that moderate close brush with death is kind of forcing me to do things I've been thought about doing for years, and finally getting around to giving things a bit of a go.
Awesome.
Yeah. So I don't want to learn acoustic. I only want to learn electric.
Oh, okay.
I have no interest in learning acoustic guitar, so I'm now going to go and buy a guitar. So I'm researching.
Okay.
Stuff.
When you're ready to start recording your compositions, don't call me.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't do that to you, dude. Yeah, it's just too much for anyone to bear. Even me, I think you get a little amplifier, and you can put headphones on. Yep. So no one else can hear. Yep. Well, I'm thinking I might put headphones on, but not put the headphones on my head, so I don't have to hear. Yeah. Be bad. So that's my personal news for the week: guitar and becoming a man. I just saw another article came up on Peter Pixel just then. Yeah. That Canon begins transition to mirrorless market dominance.
Oh, okay.
That's interesting, isn't it? So late comer to the.
But Canon already has mirrorless cameras, don't they?
Yeah, but dominance in market share is obviously what they're implying. So they've come from being Johnny come lately to beating Sony, beating Nikon, etc., etc.
But are sales figures actually showing that at this point in time, or is this just their marketing department saying that that's what their plan is?
This is their report, their financial reporting. So Canon's latest figures reveal strong and sustained performance even during the pandemic. Well, I think we all knew this anyway, but what's obvious is that according to the financial data of all camera shipments, that mirrorless now makes up 38% of all units shipped, but 67% of its value. Wow! So so you can see where the money's at. Yeah, I would say by looks of I'm trying to see where it says where Canon's starting to dominate. They had an 11.2% increase in sales last year. Wow, that's pretty good. Most companies are there when most companies having a downward, and operating profits rose 155%. That's not bad, is it? Yeah. Part of it was also lower costs, because they closed the factory down. Right. Canon reports a total of 5.27 million units shipped, close to Canon's figure of 5.38, which is what they expected, and believes it will increase to 5.65 million next year, or this year, I guess it is. Yeah, right. Which suggests that Canon holds about 52% of the whole interchangeable lens camera market. Now, hang on, I just want to clarify, when they say units shipped, does that mean shipped to retail or actually shipped to customers? Well, it'd be shipped to retail, right? So it's not necessarily stores don't hold a lot of. Yeah, but stores don't hold a lot of inventory, or it's on a very short term. Yeah. Most stores will buy on a month by month basis. They're not holding 6 months of stock because of the price is always coming down. And also the availability of stock. I think over the last year has been pretty hard as well with all the chip shortages and stuff. So it looks like Canon's well and truly staying the dominant. Everyone said that Sony's going to be the end of Canon. It looks like they didn't agree with it, and they chose not to die. Decided not to be Kodak. and do something about it, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Since 2005, Shutters Inc. has been a labour of love. But beyond the time required to produce it, there is also a financial commitment. If you find value in the podcast and would like to help keep the servers running, hit up the Patreon link, which is in the show notes. Even a couple of dollars a month will help. Much appreciated. Now, back to the podcast.
Now, I did see a couple of things this week which piqued my interest.
Yeah.
And the most amazing of all, because we were talking about photographing these old people that were born in like the 1760s and whatever. Well, I found an article on Peter Pixel about the world's oldest living land mammal. There's a photograph of this tortoise that was given to the island of St. Helena in 1866 when it was about approximately 50 years old.
Wow.
And they took a photo of this thing. They took a photo of this tortoise with locals in 1866.
Okay.
Well, they've just rephotographed it last week.
Wow.
He's now at least 190 years old.
Wow.
And he's still pottering around St. Helena. And I thought that is just epic, you know, to have 1866, what was that, 145 year gap in time or whatever.
Wow.
And there's this thing still just pumping along, you know. It's the only thing. There'd be nothing, other than buildings, there's been nothing else existing that would have had its photo taken in the 1800s that's still alive now.
Yeah.
Know? It's quite astounding, and I thought it was pretty darn cool.
Okay, so it is now Friday morning. The noise got so bad that we could not keep recording yesterday. So we're just going to drop it in from here. So, Mr. Lavender, what have we got to talk about photography-wise? What's on your list?
Who cares?
Our audience.
Far more importantly,
Yeah.
far more importantly, since yesterday, I bought a guitar.
Jimi Hendrix, look out. What did you get?
Maybe Bobby Hendrix. Jimmy's far less talented younger brother.
What did you get?
I got a knockoff of a knockoff Les Paul.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So
Does it sound remotely like a Les Paul?
Well, here's the thing, Bruce. I don't know what Les Paul sounds like.
Right.
And does the sound determined by, like, which effect thing or how you turn the dials?
I think it's as much how you use the strings, mate.
Because you can make different sounds, Bruce, by twirling
really?
stuff.
Good to know.
I've never ever tried to learn a music. The last time I tried to learn a musical instrument, I was in year 7.
And it was the triangle.
So I was like 30 years old. It was the trumpet.
Right.
Yeah. So, funnily, they're not both string instruments, Bruce.
No. Well spotted.
Less strings in a trumpet, and not as much blowing on the guitar.
Exactly.
Quite technically quite different.
Yeah.
However, I do purse my lips whilst playing guitar. I put on that little face, the little cat bum face.
Yep. Excellent.
So I've got no idea what a guitar sounds like. I will say it's pretty cool.
Excellent.
Yeah, it makes noises.
And you got yourself a little practice amp?
I've got a little amp. I've got the stands.
Yep.
Thrown in for free. I've got all the got the strap. You got the little plucky things. The plectrum.
That's called a plectrum. Yeah.
and so I had I've got a little bit of Peter Gunn going.
Okay.
Dun, 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 dun. Badly.
Mate, you should have learnt Stairway to Heaven by now.
My wife sent a meme immediately. She said, "No stairway." It was like the very first thing she did. But I was thinking about recording the opening for our show.
Excellent.
I'll put something together, and that could be the beginning. Nice intro.
Excellent.
Something new for 2022.
Nice.
But it's a sexy beat. I mean, it was shop demo. It had a little bit of a mark on the back of it, which you can't see because it's on the back.
Yeah.
And it was $150 off.
Nice.
So I thought, well, that's
and it did look nice. I saw the photos you posted. It looked good.
It's gorgeous, I've got to tell you.
Yeah.
It's my mate Adam goes, "Oh, I've got the real thing."
Right.
a limited edition signed by Slash from Guns N' Roses.
Wow.
Yeah, so he's got several amazing guitars, limited edition, special. Doesn't play guitar.
Right. Okay.
So that's how Adam. He's just a music nut. But I don't know if he even ever turned the thing on or not. I don't know. But so I've been having a ball. I put in about half an hour of practice yesterday. I watched a YouTube video on best first thing to learn and one finger playing sort of thing. Hold this chord and go blum blum blum, and then hold this chord and go blum blum blum. So I'm learning a tiny bit, and I've learned a little bit about what the chords, what the individual strings are called, what notes they are. So for first afternoon, pretty good.
Excellent.
And I got my first lesson 2:15 on Monday. So
nice.
Yeah, I'll be a pro by Tuesday.
Excellent.
So no,
you'll be able to get a job as a session player.
This is actually something I think relevant to photography. This next little bit.
Okay.
I've been looking at lots of different guitars this last week or so. I'm a voracious researcher when it's something that actually interests me.
Yep.
And so I delved deep, and there's all these entry level beginner guitars, and they're all nice enough and stuff, and they would all do the job, and they were all functional. But the one I bought was beautiful.
Yeah.
It looked gorgeous. It felt great. You felt good holding it. You felt good strumming it. There's something about the enjoyment of using the tool as opposed to just a tool that do the job. And I think that goes a long way to deciding, what camera should I buy? Well, buy the one that makes you the happiest.
Yeah.
If there's one that you just love the feel of, or just like, it feels special to you, buy that one, because your enjoyment factor and your want to go out and use it will be far greater.
Yeah.
I want to pick this guitar and play because it's so tactile.
Yeah,
it's got the kind of the curved sort of front. Like a violin's got that very gentle little curve, and it's smooth. So just the tactileness of the thing makes you want to use it.
Nice,
and I think that's a good factor for photography here. I'm going to tell you, it's a lifelong thing I wanted to try.
Excellent.
So it's having this health scare this last sort of 6 months or so was decided. Well, today's the day. It's kind of a lot of my philosophy at the moment. Yeah, do it now.
Yeah, good stuff. Awesome.
See how we go. So should we talk some photography?
For sure.
Have some stuff?
What do you got on your list?
One was an amazing video that some guys put together, a 22-minute long video. He's colorized, but not particularly well.
Yeah.
Of the Empire State Building being built.
Oh, wow.
From the actual very foundation all the way up.
Wow.
And just footage I've just never seen, and images of the area I've just never ever seen, and to get an idea of how they built it. And they built it in 13 months.
I was just about to ask, when exactly was it built? Because I'm imagining it's 30s, right? So it's 90 years old now. Yeah, okay.
And wow. and just see, the style of the people, the people laying bricks and stuff, with their bowler hats on and stuff. It's like, it's amazing to see. But it's such an iconic building, and to see it from that level of build up was really, I thought was really fascinating. So
yeah, nice.
And I lived in New York, so it spoke to me a bit there too. But that was great.
Yeah, right.
Next thing I found this week was, do you remember the old Google Picasa software?
I never used it. I'm familiar with the name. Was it just a photo sharing site? Was that like 500px?
It's an editing suite.
Oh, it's an editing suite. Okay, right.
Yeah, so it was like pre-Google Photos, pre all the stuff, but it was a downloadable program that catalogued and stored your photos. But for majority of amateur photographers, it was the perfect tool.
Right.
Yeah, for stuff like cropping and straightening and adjusting contrast and brightness and saturation and changing to black and white, and using early days of filters where you could just press one button and get a different effect on your photos. It was unlike anything around.
So it was an early version of Snapseed.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, it was along that kind of, but for your desktop or for your laptop,
right?
And it would catalog. And every photo you had on your computer, and it would do face detect. So it would put into folders everyone with what it thought was the same face. Amazing piece of software, and I loved it. I recommended it for years to customers who wanted a basics editing solution.
Yep.
And then they stopped doing it. I thought, well, this is crazy because it was such a good piece of kit. And I still haven't found anything that kind of captures that level of the market.
Right.
For simplicity again. And whilst this piece of software I found this week doesn't do that because it doesn't catalog all your photos, it doesn't make all the images on your computer be accessible and be able to find in one spot, which I think is important. But I did find this thing, and the website's called edit.photo.
What Glenn was saying there is it's called edit.photo. Okay.
And it's basically a web-based editing service, and it's free of charge. And you just upload your photo, and you can do all your crops and rotations. But it's got some amazing filters, some really good filters that really change the look of your photo. It's just pressing one button.
Right.
So if anyone wanting something really basic, you know what? And I do this sometimes with my own photos. I do what I think's my vision of it, but then I'd love to go on a program like this and just go through all their filters to see what their vision of it is. Because they can show you stuff that you might have thought of yourself, or you see in a way you hadn't seen it yourself. It's pretty good.
At this point, we disconnected the Skype call and I rang him again. So, Paul Sutton sent us a couple of videos regarding the James Webb Space Telescope, and the first one that I watched was from Destin at Smarter Every Day on YouTube. And it goes for about half an hour. And I watched it yesterday before we started recording, and it was really, really good. And what I didn't realise was that Destin, the guy who hosts Smarter Every Day, his dad worked on the construction of the James Webb Space Telescope.
Oh, really? I think you'd say he worked on the construction of the Empire State Building. So that's quite a coincidence. Yeah. That's a hell of a coincidence, Bruce.
That would be.
What's the chance of that?
So that first video I found really interesting. I haven't had a chance to watch the second one yet. But I will put both of those links in the show notes for anyone that wants to check it out. If you're a bit nerdy like me, then that first video definitely is really interesting.
You're nerdy?
Just a touch.
Really? Listeners, newsflash. Wow. I know what the headline for this week's episode is going to be. Bruce confesses nerdism.
The next one,
and so's my life.
That's right. The next one that Paul sent us was a bit of a sad story. It's about a photographer in his 80s in Paris who went out for his evening walk, fell over, couldn't get up, and people just walked past him all night and no one helped him, and he ended up dying on the street from hypothermia, which is really sad.
But I've seen that. I've seen that in real life, though, Bruce.
Really?
That sort of stuff happening in Melbourne back in the sort of late 80s, early 90s. There was massive heroin issues, heroin issues, and people overdosing everywhere.
Yeah.
I used to work in this store, and across the road was underground toilets.
Yep.
And at least once a day, an alarm would go off. If you're in the toilet too long, an alarm would go off.
Right.
Because it means someone's overdosed in there. This is how bad it was.
Wow.
And the ambulance would pull up and they'd go and drag the body out, or trying to recover the person. But people, you'd be walking up the street on a Saturday morning, coming to work, and there'd be people just lying, either dead or dying or overdosed on the street.
Wow.
And people just walk straight past them.
Yeah, right.
And it was such a common occurrence that you almost didn't think twice about it. There were just so many people just laying sprawled out in the street.
Wow.
In who knows what state of health.
Yeah.
And it said for, I don't know, maybe, and this is over like a 3 or 4 year period. It wasn't like just a short, little duration. It seems to have gone now. That all changed all of a sudden. Right. But it was so I've seen that kind of ambivalence, I guess, firsthand. So you don't know what it's like in walking the streets of Paris. Is this? Are you seeing homeless people laying on the street all the time? Are you misconstruing what you're seeing?
Yeah.
So you kind of grasp a little bit how it can happen.
Yeah.
But wow, terrible.
Pretty sad.
Yeah. And the fact that he's a photographer is kind of irrelevant. Any old bloke should.
Yes. Yeah.
I just hope he set his camera up and recorded himself, because do some selfies on the way out. Just, quite a project, That's you see these 365 projects, these all this sort of stuff. You get my last 2 hours project.
Yes.
Because if you were given the chance, I'm totally serious. If you were given the chance, you're going out.
Yep.
Be an interesting project to do.
Sure. Bit morbid,
Just shoot
but
yourself. Yeah, but I mean, you're going anyway.
Yeah.
You know, you might as well get one last shoot in.
Yeah.
I'd do it. I think it'd be interesting if I was cognizant enough to be able to know. Maybe having like a cable release and just you might be in a hospital bed or something. I don't know, but it's got.
I wonder
maybe it's
though.
got like a dead man, one of those dead man triggers on your, like with a bomb, and as soon as your thumb sort of relaxes enough, it takes the last photo as you're dying. I'm serious. I reckon that'd be an interesting thing to do.
Right.
Well, look into it. If I've got the prep time. If I'm walking down the street and my wife hears, "Quick, give me my camera!"
The next one Paul sent us, he said, I remember Glyn likes unusual cameras. How about a Game Boy camera from 1998 with a massive 128 by 112 pixels? Forget that multiple megapixel nonsense. 14,336 total pixels in grayscale.
Yeah, I've seen these over a few years, people doing these things, and it's like, okay, I get the fun.
Yeah.
I just don't know how much effort you want to put into it. Time and effort versus reward.
For something that's going to generate photos of that quality too.
Because I know it's something I would probably would spend 10 minutes to set up. Yeah. But I'd only spend 5 minutes using it.
Yeah.
And then I'd never touch it again. So I mean, you got to balance that that experimental versus what are you actually going to do with it.
He also sent us a link to the underwater photography ocean art contest winners of 2021. So there's
some good ones in there.
Great collection of images in this portfolio. So anyone that wants to check those out, definitely have a gander. I did scroll through these yesterday, and there were some that really.
There's a what's that there? An earthquake fish looks pretty cool.
Yeah,
just a little that magic octopus is very cool. The schnucken biting each other's lips is quite interesting.
Yeah,
but no, very cool. Like macro photographers, you've really got to admire this skill set to do this sort of stuff.
Totally. And then the last one that Paul sent us was a link to a post that Joe Edelman put up on his blog.
Oh, that him again.
About how to add value to your photography and why it is so important. And you know what? I flicked through this blog post yesterday and I had a whole bunch of dot points in my mind that I was going to talk about. And that was yesterday and I don't remember what they were now. Dear, oh dear. I do remember that it was, that's right, become a person of value. He said Albert Einstein was quoted as saying, try not to become a man of success, but rather to become a man of value. That's right. And he was talking about, regardless of what your approach to your photography is, like whether you're trying to be a commercial success or whether you're just doing it for fun or whatever, try to bring value to what you do. And he was saying, when it comes to things like social media, he talked about engagement on Instagram and about how the average engagement on Instagram is rated at something like 2.9% or something, or 2.5%. But for Joe's posts, and he said, he doesn't have millions of followers. He has about 21,000 followers, but his engagement rate is up around 4%. And he said it's because every time I post an image, I provide behind-the-scenes shots of the setup and descriptions of the lighting and a bit of the backstory, and it gives people something to interact with, and that generates more engagement. And it can translate to things outside of social media, like, if you're doing a shot for a friend, try and bring value to it, even if you're not being paid for it. I thought there was some really interesting points in there. Like I said, I did briefly skip through it yesterday, and I had a whole bunch of things that I was going to talk about, but now I've forgotten what they were. But definitely worth a read if you've got the time to sit down and read, because it's a fairly lengthy article. So that's me.
But it's true though. I mean, it's like anything in life. If you can value add to a client or a friend, then you're going to be asked more often to do stuff. It's a fairly. I would have thought that's fairly.
It's like the
sense.
Value we add to this podcast. Glenn and I are asked to do so much other stuff that's related to this. aren't we? A little bit?
Crickets?
No? Crickets? Just to follow up on yesterday's conversation about the solar system that they're installing on our roof, it is 13 kilowatts.
Aha.
So there you go. Yep. And we have a a battery that can suck in or pump out 5 kilowatts an hour, and I can't remember its total capacity. It might be 13 kilowatts as well. I don't know. Anyway, cool. I'm still learning. So yeah, so that's us.
Can I just say a little break in? When you asked me to unplug the microphone and replug it back in, it stopped recording.
Oh, you're kidding!
No.
I knew I should have asked you to check that.
It said your microphone has changed.
Okay, this has been one of those episodes.
Yeah. So I'll send you what I got.
Yep.
With all that oscillating and who knows.
Yeah.
That's what I have.
Fantastic.
Super.
All right, mate. Well, good
friend,
to chat to you.
You go look at your solar power app. And,
I will.
I'll go twang on my guitar.
Excellent.
Yeah, and that's it. We've got our job for the day, haven't we? Basically,
we have. Yeah. That's it. All right, mate.
Okay,
have a good one.
Take care.
Yeah.
Talk to you in 3 weeks.
Oh yes, 3 weeks, not 2 weeks. Yes, 3 absolutely.
Weeks. Yeah.
All right.
Well,
see ya.
Take care, mate.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
You've been listening to Shutters Inc. For questions, comments, and feedback, email theboys@shuttersincpodcast.com.